place to go, just as has happened so often in North Beach, all just to make a good profit by selling these units as condos, most likely. Boo! This is happening all over San Francisco, and especially in North Beach, where block after block after block, we're seeing evictions like this. Boo! So we need to rally together and stop these evictions. We'll have some of the tenants talk about what's been happening here, as well as some of the organizations. And I think we'll have Malcolm Young from Chinatown CDC next.
Thank you, Ted.
First of all, I want to say Happy New Year to everybody, and thank you for coming out in support of the 4 low-income tenants that are facing yet another Ellis Act eviction in this neighborhood.
Thank you.
Okay. My name is Malcolm Young. I'm with the Chinatown Community Development Center. We've been fighting in this neighborhood for 30 years to stop these kinds of evictions. North Beach is facing a wave of Ellis Act evictions. This cannot continue. This is the 3rd eviction that I know of in the recent past that's happened really within this block. We're tired of it, and it needs to stop now.
Yes, absolutely.
I want to thank the Community Tenants Association for coming out and supporting this fight. They're always here, and I know that they're committed and we're committed to fighting these types of evictions as long as they happen. David Chiu's right up there. Sorry, I thought I'd answer that question just as quickly as possible.
David Chiu, Supervisor Chiu.
Hey, David!
Now, a lot has been happening this week in the papers, obviously. And I just want to say one thing. We have a mayor that is in place who himself was a former tenant activist. We have a mayor in place now who has litigated eviction cases. We have a mayor in place now that launched the anti-eviction practice at the Asian Law Caucus, and we need to hold his feet to the fire and make sure that he continues to be accountable to tenants in this city.
Yeah, right. Whoa.
I think this is a good first message, and I think we need to continue to send that message to him through these types of things. We need to send policy up to him to make sure that he supports it, and that the Board of Supervisors continue to support pro-tenant policy in this city so this kind of thing stops.
Yes. Yes.
The last thing I want to say is I want to also give a heartfelt thanks to Steve Collier. Steve has been the attorney that has been representing low-income tenants in Ellis Act evictions time and time again. And Steve, I think it's about time for us now to set you up with some Cantonese lessons. And I think CTA, Chinatown City, are more than happy to facilitate that. So thank you very much, and thank you Supervisor Chiu for coming out as well.
I could have some other speakers.
No, I'm happy to speak. Yeah.
And Supervisor Chiu.
Josan, Dagaho, Jikdaga, Sunny and Philok, Santa Hong. First of all, I just want to say and thank all of you for doing what you're doing and standing up for our tenants, standing up for our seniors, standing up for our immigrants. I want to thank CCDC, I want to thank, of course, Steve and THC, I want to thank our tenant advocates from the Tenants Union, I want to thank CTA, I want to thank all of you who are part of our community, part of the fabric of our community. What this is about, unfortunately, is who are we going to be in the future as a city? We have had a wonderfully rich and diverse community here, particularly here in North Beach. But this is an example of, unfortunately, many examples in recent years of how we are losing some of the fabric of our economic diversity, of our ethnic diversity, of our family diversity. If we want all of us to be able to continue to live here, we have to make sure that this does not get allowed to happen. A couple of months ago, I actually called Mr. Islandar, and I had asked him, because we had understood that this might be happening, we had asked him to consider his business decision, to reconsider his business decision. And he said that he would think about it, but unfortunately he is proceeding. And so, as a community, I don't think we have much of a choice. We have to come together, we have to step up and say, we will not accept this. we will say no. That this is a city not just for the rich, this is a city for everyone, regardless of income, regardless of your demographic. And so I want you to know that I know that I'm not only will I be standing with you, but we continue to have a majority at the Board of Supervisors who we stand up to make sure that these types of evictions are not allowed to happen. Thank you so much for being out here today.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
And we will have a chance to confront Mr. Iskander if people want to, which is going to be on January 19th.
Yes.
At, what's the address?
Right behind in the alley.
Right behind in the alley. What time?
Between 6 and 7 o'clock.
Between 6 and 7, because he's trying to get permits to build garages so he can bring more cars into the neighborhood.
Mr. Iskander.
Not just happy evicting people. So it's a community meeting where he'll be at January 19th, 6 o'clock, right here. And let's show up and tell him what we think of him and his evictions.
Yeah.
And we'll send the word out about that. Now, let's hear from Sandy Butler, one of the tenants here.
Bishop.
Bishop. I'm sorry.
Butler, Bishop, whatever.
Chad, is this
Let's see.
6 p.m.?
I have so much going in my mind. We've been writing signs all last night. And, okay. I'm not used to this, but I'm going to be, because I'm going to come to every damn eviction in this town.
Good for you.
I'm going to fight with everybody because I don't feel like I'm any more special than anybody else. So I'm just joining up the plan here. But I really appreciate you guys coming out. Man, this just warms my heart. My cockles are really warmed, and my attorney and my daughter and family and the other people that live here, or the other woman, our fellas here don't seem to want to be shown. It is. Carlo is here. Is he? Carlo is here. Come on, Carlo.
Hi, Carlos.
40 years. But you know the strange thing, when I spoke with Mr. Iskander last weekend when there was a couple of newspapers here, and he told me, you know, he just couldn't afford the mortgage here. And I said, well, sell it to us and we'll pay exactly the same thing that you paid for it. Of course, he never said anything. And then he said, listen, I don't think me as an owner needs to pay anybody any money. I think the legislator needs to pay the money. So you act like a victim in all this. Please. I don't even feel like a victim. I'm fighting, so I'll be damned if I'm a victim in this. So, and it feels good to fight. Oh, boy, does it feel good. So, thank you all again for coming out. Maybe our other person that lives here would like to say a few words, because she's just as affected as everybody else.
Thank you, Sandy.
We're too old. This is like, come on. How do we move?
Shame.